I want to explain because there is like some rumors on the internet, and that's get the people's crazy about it. Especially when you talk about cervical manipulation, manipulate the neck. Oh, maybe you lose the movements of your body if you go so strong. There is many guys say some things scare a lot of people, but it's just science, Sometimes we take a long time to understand where we should manipulate and how we're going to manipulate. And then in one session, like 10 minutes, you remove the pain. But sometimes I take 3 sessions just to understand the exactly point. It's about trust, the patients are too confident on my hands, on my style of treatment.
Like, how can you read the body also, like where the trigger points and so, because because the neck and these places are delicate. So you cannot trust if someone is not, let's say, good enough in it, that they might put you in danger, because it can also be counterintuitive. So even finding the right professional can be also a tough thing.
Yeah, it is. Especially today, we have on the internet, many specialists and do many things. I love when I saw some guy take the hammer and some wood and punch. It's no way, bro. It's so delicate, God give us the best nerve system. We have nerve system in our spine, in each part of our muscles. No way. Come on. You're not building anything, So find a good professional is a big deal. But soon you'll find, don't leave him alone. Stay with him. Take him for your life,
Like your barber.
Yes, like your barber. You never fight with your barber. You always keep him in a good position in your life, Maybe you fight with your wife, but not with your barber. Never.
I would leave my wife, but I would never leave him.
That's true.
Yeah, that's true. If you find, let's say, a good professional in something that's delicate such as this, then yes, I think even I would travel for him,
Yeah.
I would be willing to travel, especially if I'm a sport athlete or so. I would be willing to travel for that personnel to fix me every once in a while, and let's say to realign or readjust or take care of me, basically. Then I would go back, especially if I'm an athlete.
Yeah. Did you train what? What was your modality?
So I did martial arts up to the age of 18. After martial arts, I did powerlifting, and that's where I started going to the gym, basically. Before the age of 18, I only used to do martial arts. From 18 onwards, I started lifting in the gym. Basically you start, let's say, just lifting weights. And after that, I did some powerlifting. I competed in university. Then I did some weightlifting, and I did some CrossFit. Now I'm doing more of a strength and conditioning. That's where I'm focusing more on, especially because as we grow older, I cannot, let's say, to keep always the high intensity for the joints and so, because the recovery is gonna, let's say, go down slowly. So I'm trying to adjust as I grow, let's say. So currently I'm doing strength and conditioning.
Oh, that's great. That's great. Yeah. When we have activity life, let's say inactivity, let's take a runner. He should take care about his injuries. He should take care about his body, and more than normal people. Why? Because they use more. It's like a functional incapacity. Functional is, yes, I can run 1 kilometer. The capacity is run 10 kilometers in a good pace every single week or every single day. That is the capacity. So to keep the capacity on high level, we should to work many things behind. So I have to put his body on the same line. Or let's say if the guy that is one leg taller than the other one, I cannot fix that. So what I have to do, I have to teach his body how to manage that. So it's not just taking back and done. I solve the problem. No, I have to go and find a way how his body works first, and how after that I know how his body works, then I can go there and manage somehow to the body understand and grow and improve. And sometimes improve his pace, improve his conditioning, But there is some tricks we have to understand first and then works on it.
So is it sometimes I think they have to just live with it? Is it sometimes non-reversible? Let's say the situation, the misalignments in the body.
Yes, that is. Because let's talk about spine. If I have less than 15 degrees of curve in our spine, let's say scoliosis, go to the right side, less than 15 degrees, the research say we can fix it. We can put, because the science say between 5 to 0 degrees of curve, it's fine. Your body can adapt. So if I have 15, I can reduce to 5 and it's acceptable. will be like normal life. So over that, then it's hard, especially about age. Especially when we talk about age. If I take a young boys, I work with one guy, he was 30 degrees. It was like really root scoliosis.
Yeah.
So I talked to his family, say he had to work on it now. He was 10 years old, 11 years old.
Such a young age. So it happens genetically. Like
yes, genetically. And now we have, I don't like to say that, but like sick society with the cell phones, tablets. And when you saw the kids lay down on the bed and just take the head like this and watch the phone or watching the iPad, this building up his curve on the spine because it's still growing. It's not ready yet. We stopped to growing around 18, 17 years old, but genetically, let's say the Midwest, but on the science they put the Asian citizens. The Midwest, they stopped to grow early, 16 years old. But that's why it's normal. You saw one guy here with 14 years old, but tall, with beard on the face. You know, you can see his shaped body is like stronger because the genetic here is a little bit different.
Yeah.
And it's like that around the world. I travel for more than 40 countries, and each country is totally different. And even the answer about the treatment is different. So we need to be careful on that. When you take a young boy and start to manipulate him, I have to manipulate and then do an exercise for him to do at home. And then he start to build up his spine on the right way. Of course, I don't take 30 degrees and reduce to 0, but reduce to 10. And for his personality, for his self-confidence, man, this is amazing.
Of course.
Because the kids don't go around without t-shirt. After that, because he comes shy, you know? Because he say all his friends like normal, good posture and growing, and he stop and the shoulders different levels.
You know, I've actually seen that once. Like I've actually seen once some young people where they have like one of the shoulders is higher exponentially than the other.
Yes.
Like I actually had that in some clients in my clinic. I used to work in a dental center, and we had some customers where I've seen that. And it's very obvious, actually. So I can relate to what you're saying.
Yes. And when we talk about the DTM is the most important joint we have to check when we talk about posture, especially when we talk about neck. So let's say the people, there is like a protrusion on the DTM. Okay. So all the day, the guy stay on the phone and put the protrusion on his neck, put his head forward. This overload his trapezius and then overload his spine. And then he start to have many consequences for one bad habit, you know? So we should to work on his lifestyle. And sometimes there is like a migrate from that. And when reach this level, we have to change all the lifestyle. We have to manage his life. The time with electronic device, we have to find some good activity to relax these joints. You know, sometimes in the water, sometimes in the warm place. There is like some hot yoga. I really love the hydrotherapy. When I put the patient on the water, especially with hot water, we can manage and release this tension, you know. And then after that, okay, then now I would manipulate. I will try to push yourself to put your head a little bit backward.
Okay.
And after long time, you'll be fine. But you have to change these small habits, otherwise.
You know, man, like I've noticed that many things that we do, like small things in our lifestyle, can affect us heavily in every aspect. Like as you mentioned, like sometimes because this posture where you get your head forward, sometimes it's like unconscious because people are just get used to it.
Yes.
From maybe the habit of the phone, using the phone. So it got to be automatic for them. And now it builds up by time, unconsciously. And it becomes like the natural thing for them.
Yeah, because your body is so smart.
Yeah.
You learn everything. So let's say, if I take this bottle of water and keep on my hand for 10 seconds, it's fine. If I keep for 10 hours, it starts to come heavy. If I keep for 10 days, all my joints start to lock it, my body starts to shake, and then the pain will disappear. After many days, the pain will disappear. But my shoulder be hurts, my elbow be hurts, but my body learned how to keep it that. You understand? Then that's a good thing because we can play with that to solve the problem, but sometimes it's a bad thing because we think, I just say stay here for 2 hours. I just sit on my work, let's say to 4 hours, but you sit 4 hours every single day. how many years you keep sitting on the same position, or you keep working on the same level, you don't change your levels. So small things, these small details, they change everything in our life, because it's about amount of time you give for them.
It builds up. So it builds up by time.
Yes, builds up by time.
Yeah.
You expose yourself for the training 1 hour a day. How many days you should to train to get a good result? Many days.
Yes.
But if you expose yourself 3 hours training a day, you reduce this time.
Yes.
It's the same for everything in our body. If I expose myself in a dangerous situations for long time, for long period, that's it. My body will learn how to work on that, and I will be like curve for a long time.
Yeah.
Until someone come and try to solve my problem.
Yeah.
Because you cannot solve by yourself. You know, when your posture change, or the curve on your spine, or you have some bad habits, you cannot change by yourself. You need an external mechanical force to solve, to try to put you on the right way. Sometimes we do this by chiropractic manipulation. Sometimes the guys like to go to the myofascial release, some tip massage tissue, you know, but you need a mechanical thing releasing that, you know.
Why is that? Like, why is it harder for us to, let's say, readjust on our own, and we need sometimes like an external force to push our body to do it? Like, for example, if I am someone who is, let's say, aware of the problem, why is it that we usually tend to not be able to force ourselves to do it? And that actually, I noticed, we sometimes really need an external force for someone to actually move us or like realign us physically for that to happen. So why is it harder for us as individuals to do it on our own usually?
That's a nice thing. We have 2 ways to work on that. The first way, when we learn something, anything, let's say, take from exercise example, how I learn one squat. The first, my professor, my coach would do it. I will see. My brain received this information and try to realize how to do it. So my brain received the information how to do, send the signal for my muscles. My muscles doesn't know how to do it, but try. I did wrong the first time. My coach touched my body, or just say by words for me, and my body received this, my brain received this information. Teach me again how to do, and then I learn. This internal load in your neural system going to external load, your movement. So the opposite way is not so easy, because our muscle doesn't have, let's say, doesn't have a brain. The brain, it's a little bit far. We need to conduce these stimulus to the brain and then go back and change these things. You know, it's like a freeway. One time go, one line come back. But we never can like change our external things if the signal don't receive on the internal load. If the brain don't receive the signal, they cannot change anything. So I just think, oh, I have to keep my shoulders on the right position.
Yeah.
So I disturb myself, I look on my phone, and boom, I forgot. Why? Because the internal load don't send the signal for the external load. My muscles doesn't receive this information. It's something like, okay, he think about it, but he doesn't do it.
Yeah.
So when someone touch your body, and that's why the hand therapy is so important on that, your skin send information for your brain, something touch there, and you start to pay attention on that part of your body. And after the manipulation, the neural system receive a burst, like a bunch of information, and say, what the hell, what's going on here? Let's think about this place carefully. And then start to send many opioids, it's like some body medicines to that place by your blood. And then these opioids start to work on that place, reduce your pain, and keep the signal there for 3, 5, and sometimes 10 days. And this long signal there on that place keeps your body understand and think about it, and then realign that place. Because it's not like this. I just don't put on the place and halas, that's it. No, your body receive and keep receiving this information for many days, and this change your backup in your mind. Because the old backup, you say, okay, this should be like that. But when I change the information, I just update the backup. And then after a few days, okay, I disappear the pain, I keep the posture, and everything starts going on the right way.
You know, like actually even in training, like I tend to see like, I train a couple of people, and I noticed that when I target them to, for example, I would tell them today we're going to train this exercise is going to target this muscle. they tend to feel it more when I touch. So speaking of which, you just said now, like the touch, it tells the brain that move here or focus here. It force you to think in that in particular.
Yes, and this like proprioceptive touch. When someone doing the exercise and you say, "Oh, we're gonna work on this muscle," and when you just put your finger there, just touch.
Yeah,
you just touch, actively immediately. Like immediately, the focus comes from that place. That's it's like a magic thing, you know. All the hands therapy work on this thing. This is like a, let's say, the golden rule.
Yeah,
it's like amazing thing to talk about it because the people doesn't know, you know. And sometimes it's funny because the people has a pain on that place. She don't touch.
Yeah.
She don't put anything. Try to avoid every touch there.
Yeah.
You know, try to protect that place a lot.
Yeah.
What is doing? This say for your brain, forgot about this place. This doesn't work anymore. We don't use this anymore.
So let's neglect it.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then what? Our body should to save energy. If I have to save energy and I forgot about one place, I don't send blood further. And then they start to become a chronic problem. That's why you see people living with the pain like 10 years, 12 years. True. And then sometimes the pain comes so hard, go to the hospital, put some medicine on the body, and still don't solve the problem. Because you don't pay attention on all the signals around. You don't give the tool for your body to solve this problem. Because sometimes our body is so smart, he can solve the problem alone.
You know, as they say also, like, if you don't use it, you lose it.
Yes.
So the same thing applies now to what you just said. Like, if you don't pay attention to that muscle or that area or that thing in particular, if you keep neglecting it, it's just going to drain, as they say, go down the drain.
Go down the drain. If you don't use, you lose it. That's a rule. That's a rule for sure.
Man, can you tell me, like, what are the, let's say, most common problems that you have seen in our community now growing more and more, like compared to how many years have you been practicing now?
Now this year you complete 11 years.
11 years. So I'm like, have you seen something which have been developing more and more via time? Like, tell me about Arthur, how were you treating first thing and the type of clients which you are facing now? Like, have the problems been different along the time?
That's great. Okay. Before, when I start to work, I start working in community in Brazil. So in Brazil, on that time, it was really common and really normal when we have like a mechanical blocks. Let's say, sometimes the people are in the car taking like the supermarket bag. When going to lift the bag, stuck the spine, lower back especially. It's like the most common injury. So in other research, they say, in Americas, in North and South America, we have like 60% of the peoples with lower back chronic pain. That's a lot.
Huge.
It's a huge number. And it's the most common sick leave reason.
Oh.
So the companies lose money for that.
Yeah.
It's like a public health problem, you know?
Yes.
So that's the most common issue there on that society, on that time. And to solve this, it's a little bit, I not say easy, but easy to manage it because it's like society is doing more physical activities. When I start to work here in the Midwest, it's a little bit different. Here, this number go down to 30%.
Okay.
And I have a reason for that. Here's a Muslim country. The Muslims, they pray many times a day. So they squat more because they squat 5 times a day to pray. They bend more. They spine, they lift more, they spine, they walk more, they walk barefoot. That's so important for the proprioception of the foot. So there's many reasons on the society here, put this number a little bit down. But soon I move, I check here, we have a huge problem about necks.
Okay.
I have some ideas about, but the research don't support this idea.
Tell me about them.
The first idea here, work a lot on the phone. You can see the people around on the phone like every time, all day long on the phone. And that's one reason. The second reason, they have a long neck. As if you check your neck compared to mine, it's a little bit bigger. So that's the genetics. We cannot change that. But if you have a long neck, you should exercise your neck muscles to support your head, to support your spine. So most common problem here, I take it, is of course the sciatic nerve and the lower back issues. but it's not mechanical block. Here, I don't see many times like the people taking some bags and stuck.
Yeah.
This don't happen too much, but the neck is mechanical block. Sometimes you sleep and wake up with the red going to the right side and stay like this for 5 days. What is crazy for me? Imagine 5 days I put a ischemia, I remove the blood for the right side, and then I start to have many issues around. You know, so here Midwest neck,
Man,
America's
that's very
lower
true
back.
actually, because like I always hear over here like parents and friends, and so they all tell me that they sometimes wake up with a back neck pain, and it's very common over here to hear that we have problems around the traps, shoulders area, like, and it's hard for them to move the neck, and I hear that a lot over here in this culture. So now that you spoke about it, it actually like ring a bell in my head. And why do you think that in the US they have more common, let's say, lower back pain? For example, over here, okay, because we have, let's say, longer necks and because of the lifestyle of the phones. So why, let's say, in America, in the North and the South, they have more of a lower back issues?
Okay, first of all, in US we have a huge amount of obesity. Okay, so if I don't have like good core strength, I put myself on risk to have a lower back issue. That's the first point we should to understand. Second of all, in US, they don't think too much the right way to move. They just take some weights from the floor and move and do it. They just do it. That's like the US lifestyle. They just do it.
Yes.
And this put themselves in risk, and the mechanical blocks come from obesity. So I have more fat, my muscles doesn't work well. If my muscle doesn't work well and I don't have the proper way to move my body, I will hurt myself. That's like a 2 + 2 is 4, you know?
Yes,
it will be like that.
thing.
It's a common thing. And on the genetics, they have like kind of bigger spine bone. Okay, kind of. Why kind of? Because they are a little bit higher, a little bit tall than the Asians.
True.
And if I'm tall, my bones should be a little bit bigger.
Okay.
Okay, and if my bone is bigger, I should work more in my mobility to keep the same range of motion. And as I said before, they are a little bit obesity. They don't work a little bit on mobility. They just think about strength.
Yes.
If you go to any gym in the US, you never saw the guys doing mobility training. It's just a strength. You just put the weights on the bar and lift the weights, you know. That's how they work. It's totally different here.
Very true.
It's totally different here. Here, it's normal. You sit on the floor. You see like old guys sitting on the floor to eat, to drink the tea. So they stretch their legs. They move their body on the floor. In America, it's totally different. Always sit on the table. Try to avoid the floor. Don't walk barefoot. And all these lifestyles consequence build up this problem there.
Man, speaking of which, like you just mentioned that because in the US, they, let's say, tend to have bigger bones, bigger spines, and such on. So they are, let's say, more rigid in the body.
Yes.
Comparably in Asia, like I've noticed that when they squat, they can squat super deep compared to others. So now it rang a bell in my head, like maybe because they are, let's say, their bones are leaner or let's say more gentle compared to the US. So they have more range of motion and mobility in Asia compared to the US.
Yeah, that's absolutely true. If you take all the research and check the range of motion, and let's take a weightlifting as a standard to talk about, okay? If you take the range of motion, the weightlifters from the US, and the range of motion, the weightlifters from the Asian, it's totally different.
Yeah.
They can squat like going so low and take heavy weights on the full range of motion. And the US, no, they go down and go up to take the weight when they're going up because they don't have mobility to hold the weight there. So they change the biomechanics of the movement to adapt to his body.
Yes.
In US. And here in the Asian, it's totally different. They take the biomechanics and put on the pocket because they can do whatever they want, you know?
Very true, man. Like, so speaking of which, like, how can we now, for example, prevent, how can we prevent the problems before they happen? Like, what are, let's say, the standards for us as common people to take care of our body alignment and our body posture and such? Let's start with the basics.
Okay, the basic thing. The best time to work your mobility or to do preventive treatment is at morning.
Okay.
Because during the night, your body put all your joints hydrated. You receive more liquid in your joints. So if I have more liquid is the right time to work on it. So let's say I wake up. Don't leave the bed faster, crazy, turn off the alarm. Turn off the alarm and just keep going. So wake up, feel your body. I have any pain today. I can move my arms, I can move my legs, or I don't feel anything. So, okay, that's the first step. Feel your body, wake up your joints. Stay on the bed, pull your head, do some stretchings for your spine, turn belly down, lift your top body, do some extension on your spine, because during the night you bend your spine. Use this time on the bed, like let's say 5 minutes, 7 minutes, you stay on the bed after the alarm, and just move and do some stretchings that morning on the bed. So after that, go take your shower, do your stuff. If you have to choose a time to train mobility or a time to training, let's say your body, as a full body, not like a weightlifting, but like a full body, choose the morning time. You have more liquid in your joints, your brain are fresh, so you can build up like a huge amount of neurostimulus on your body. I really love when someone do like a yoga session at morning. So we have like this morning routine is the gold standard to prevent all the problems, all the issues. But let's say now we have like crazy life. Now you have to work, you have many responsibilities to take care about. You cannot do this every day, but do twice a week, three times a week. You help your body, because you don't say, I do this for 2 months. No, this lifestyle, you have to do this for your life. To build a good time when you're getting old, you know? Because you want to play with the kids. You should take care now to play with your kids when you're getting old.
So speaking of which, like you just mentioned that we usually are more clear and more receptive to, let's say, training and stretching and such in the morning because we are more focused and we are clear-minded. Does that mean, in your opinion, that we can learn new skills more in the morning compared to the night because maybe our mind is more clear and more receptive to new information?
That's for sure. That's for sure. Because during the night, you release many hormones in your body to restart your nervous system and build up. And let's say during the night, you put all the information on the memory. When you wake up, you're fresh. You can take a new memories, especially about mechanical movements. When I want to learn some new skill, let's say I want to learn how to swim. I don't go to learn how to swim after my work at night when I'm getting tired. I already use all the dopamine in my brain. I already use all the hormones I have on the day. It's finished. It's empty. It's like the full is empty for my brain. But that morning, no, I have full tank of full. Let's use, it's the best time to learn something new. When talk about strength, it's different. You have the peak of testosterone, let's say on an evening, 3 p.m. to 5 is the peak of testosterone. But you have a peak at morning as well, especially when I'm a man.
Read that,
When you have a peak at morning is why? Because you release all the hormones during the night. Then you have the first peak of the day. That's the best time to learn something. If you want to do pure strength, then go evening training.
So let's say more of a new skill kind of learning first thing in the morning. Later on in the day, if you want to do some more of a strength kind of training because our hormones are more elevated, basically.
Yes, that's
perfect. You also mentioned something about the foot and the role of it in our alignment when you were describing. What can you tell me about the foot? Because I've also recently have been reading a lot about how does the foot play a role in our overall body alignment, and it plays like in our spine and neck and such. So what can you tell me about the foot?
Okay, the foot is like the key for the new treatments and let's say of the rehab.
Okay.
Why? The only part of our body touch the hurt all the time is foot. So when I talk about, like, say, chest training, which part of my body touch the bar? My hands. So if I want to align my shoulders, I have to align my hands. But on the normal life, the only part of my body touch the ground is the foot.
True.
If I have wrong posture on my foot, all my body will be on the wrong position. It's like you're going to build up a home, a house. So the first thing is the base. After, I can grow up. I can build up. So if my base is on the wrong position, That's it. I cannot work with this because it's like unstable base. I cannot get stronger or get faster if my base is unstable. First, I have to stabilize my base and build the strength on the muscles on my foot, because many times we talk about core for lower back.
True.
But you don't listen too much about the foot core. And we have a foot core. We have many muscles on the foot. Each toe have more than 3 or 4 muscles to support him.
Whoa.
So if I have 5 toes, I have more than 20 muscles to work on it.
Yes.
And then if it doesn't work on the strength of my foot, it's like nothing. I cannot get stronger. I cannot have weights because my base is unstable.
Yeah.
If I have stable base, that's it. I can build up. So always when I start to talk with someone, I like to see walking barefoot just to check that. And now it's a personal stuff. I don't like external support for foot. Let's say I put some support for your heel because then after it, you put more weight on your toes and this is going to grow up the strength. That's not my way to work. I like to work on the natural way. I put the people barefoot, touch on the foot. You feel here? Yes, I feel it. So try to activate this muscle. And it's like never. No one teach him. No one teach you how to work on your foot core.
True.
Never even touch. It's hard someone touch your foot. It's like not commonplace.
Nobody thinks about it, because they think it's by default. They just walk. They tend to neglect the role of the foot. But as you mentioned, it's like you have to build the structure first. Like they always say that you're as good as your basics. And the basics in our body are going to be our foot, because as you mentioned, if it's not strong enough to support the whole body, it's going to be misaligned, basically.
Yes, and you lose your balance. You can lose your balance even. Because now it's Neymar is so famous. If you check his rehabilitation about his knee, the first thing the guys start to work on him, foot strength, the foot core exercise, because it's going to help him on the balance. How he can run if the foot there is no strength? You don't run with your squat, you run with your foot. The place, the part of your body should touch the ground to do a running, it's your foot. You don't, otherwise you go a handstand walk running, you know?
Just walk around.
So it's not like that. It's not like that. But it's so important. It's like a golden standard. Start from the foot. Because if I have problem on my foot, I can hurt my knee.
True.
If I hurt my knee, I can hurt my lower back. And after my lower back hurts, I'm going to hurt my neck.
Yes.
It's like the compensation's coming from down to up. There is some compensations come up to down, but it's not common. It's more common when you go from down to up. And you have to solve the problem on the opposite direction. First I solve the problem on the spine, then lower back, then the knee, and then I go to the foot.
Really? So if you have a problem that arises from the foot, you have to realign from the top.
Yes, because it'll be easier. It's like I clean the house. I go first where it's easy, and then I go to the really dirt place, and then I finish. Because otherwise, when I change the position of the foot, or I change the strength or the motor coordination on the foot, I'll change how he uses all his body. But I didn't solve the problems on the upper body yet. And then I probably will create a new problems. That was my mistake when I started to work on it.
Okay.
That was my mistake. I was trying to solve that because after the assessment, I said, okay, the problem started from the foot. Then I went direct there, so excited to solve the problem.
I see.
And then they say, okay, no, I feel way better, but now I feel on the other side. Because I didn't clean it up before.
Because you didn't fix the top. So now the top is like the new normal for it to be misaligned. So automatically it's misaligned. I got you.
Yes. That's like a most common problem for the therapists. Always we are so excited to solve the problem, and sometimes we don't think about it. All the things around, you know. And that's why we have to assessment our patient or our client as a whole. So, okay, his pain is on the right side, but the left side looks like compensates something. I have to check this. Or let's say he's breathing, he breathes more with the right lung than the left. How I can manage that? Probably his spine, there is some issue there on that side. And then after I take all these information, I say, okay, I manipulate this place because this place is the key of the problem. So after manipulate this place, I go this, and that. Then I go to the roots of the problem. Then I go there to solve. Otherwise, he just creates new problems. He don't feel this anymore, but after 3 days, he come to you to complain about the other issues.
You just mentioned that you can assess which lung or which part breathes more?
Yes.
How is that?
Yes. To be honest, it's really easier.
Yeah.
When the people lay down on the massage table or on the bed, and you just watch, you just pay attention, be on the present, and see which part lifts more when breathe in. So, okay, when I looks like the right side breathe more. So on the left side you have the heart. It's too big. That's normal. The right side go a little bit more. But when the turn face down and I see from the back side, because on the back side our lungs should work on normally, should be symmetric.
Okay.
And breathe in, hold on, and I just touch and do some tests. If the sound don't come back, this means it's empty. There is no air. There is no oxygen there. So there is many manipulations I can do it to put the air in that place. I can do like a negative pressure. When they breathe out, I put pressure on it and like squeezing like a balloon. I squeeze, and when breathing, I just release faster and the balloon go in one time.
What could be the reason?
Many reasons.
That's fascinating actually, because it's the first time that I hear about it. So like, what could be the reason for one side breathing more than the other or taking more air?
The most common reason is a bad posture at long day. So, but can be as well, not genetic, but when the people are kids and they have some accident, they stop to use that part of the lung.
I see.
And there's a really fun case. I take one guy, sports guy, like a Rouge weightlifter as well. And Rouge, big guy, you know, so strong. And I was looking and say, bro, you just breathe with one part of your lung. No way, possible. My VO2 is this and that. I say, okay, I can solve that. But probably when the oxygen come in of your body with two lungs now, probably will fall down.
Okay.
Because it's like, how to say that? When you take poor oxygen, you will always get some high and fall down because your body is not ready to that amount of oxygen. So I told him that. He said, okay, let's try. And I did. He started to cough. And when we born and we doesn't use the lungs to protect our lungs, our body puts some liquid, like a black liquid on the alveolus to protect him. So when I just finished my procedure with him, he stand up and so he started to come white. And I said, bro, you're gonna fall down. Take care. And put like 120 kilos, and I was in front of him, and he just turned off. He turned off, and then I take him, carry him, put him lay down. He started to come back and started to cough, and he put out this black liquid. He was so scared. And then I explained for him. He said, okay, bro, so you are telling me I never in my life I use all my capacity of breathing? Yes. And he was like 20 years old. So if one guy 20 years old never used all his capacity, how many things I can change in his life just with one, just to be present, just to be, play attention on him, you know, because he come to me complain about other things. But when I look, say, okay, it is not the issue he complained for me, but I can help him on that. Why not? Why not give him this information, you know? Sometimes the therapists are not lazy, but they say they doesn't want to work on all the issues they can see. Or sometimes they just don't want to see. I always try to pay attention all the signals the body of the patient gives me because we help people, you know, and people is complicated.
Why did you first get into physiotherapy, speaking of which helping people? Like, why did you choose, let's say, this part?
I don't choose. The physiotherapy choose me. Because it was like that. I was a dancer. And I was teacher of dancer. And I was ready to do that. You know, okay, my life will be like this on dancing. I want to enjoy and this and that. And then I have one personal issue in my family. And my father said for me, okay, you cannot go to do the university out of the city. You have to stay here. I just opened my computer. The first thing come on my tail was like physiotherapy. I say, okay, let's apply that. Let's see how it works. And then I pass. On the first year, one teacher come to me, say, you have good hands. You want to learn more about hand therapy. And then I say, yes, maybe. Let's see how it works. And then she gave me my first course of chiropractic and myofascial manipulation. And it was like mind explode, you know. It was like I fell in love on the first touch.
Yeah, like now I know what I want to do.
Yes, because it's so nice. The people's complain, I put my hand on it, and I know exactly what I do, and then tack, 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 and I solve the problem, and they lift and go happy.
Yes.
So I can make the people happy with that. You know, I can help someone. I can help my family as well.
Yeah.
And that's like this power give me like a good feeling and say, I love that. And then I start to study as a crazy.
Yeah.
And I'm a nerd. I like to study, you know.
It's wonderful how, like, sometimes, like, we have this perspective of what we want to do in life. And, you know, out of nowhere, life takes you in a different way. And I've heard that many times, actually. Like, we always have this plan. We want to do this, this, and this. And you feel like you have everything figured out. However, when you try and try and try, life just doesn't want you to go there. And it slips you something, you know, like, and you go try it and, oh, I know, I really like this. Yeah. And now you go more and more in details with it. Let me ask you about, do you think that the pain that we have, let's say, out of the misalignment, the problems that we have from our lifestyle and such, the body pain, do you think it affects our mentality? Like, does it affect us? Does it make us happier, more prudent to problems? What do you think is the relation between pain and depression?
Okay, that's a good point. Because as I explained before, we have two ways. The brain learn and send for the muscle, and the muscle send for the brain. So if I have a pain, first of all, what is a pain?
What is a pain? Let me try to define what is a pain. I think it's like a message from that our brain receives that, let's say, this area is being targeted. Maybe I feel some discomfort in this area, and it sends a message to the brain that this area feels discomfort. So maybe some kind of pain is more tolerable than others to different humans. This is my perspective.
Perfect, perfect. That's it. The pain is just a message for the brain. The pain doesn't exist at itself. It's just a message. So I start to receive a message from my body. I have pain in my lower back. Then what I will do? Take medicine. The people is never going like direct to the therapies or try to straighten their body. The first thing in our society is to take a medicine.
True.
Then I take a medicine. I feel a little bit better, and I keep going, keep sitting on my work, doing my jobs, don't do any physical activity. But the pain starts to come worst. Then I give a sick leave for my boss and stay at my home. But it's hard for me to stay sitting. And then I go lay down on my bed. And it comes worse. And then I don't want to hang out with my friends because I have pain. Why I go to hang out? You know, I have a pain. I have a reason to stay at home. And then start to come worst. Then I cannot do sick leave anymore. They fire me from my work because of my pain. How I feel myself with that? I feel depressive, you know, because I cannot do anything more. Sometimes young people, they cannot walk more than 100 meters because they has a pain. And this comes with depressive. And to change that pain now, I cannot just manipulate or just work on the pain. I have to work on the patient as a whole.
Yes.
Because if I say for him, no, you don't have any pain more. I fix it. Your issue was like this. It was 1, 2, 3. I fix it. Halas. That's it. You can have a normal life.
Yeah.
But he doesn't have a normal life 2 years now.
True. They still feel empty because of what the pain left them with.
Exactly. You lose the capacity to do the basic things. The most common complaint when we talk about chronic pain is I cannot stand from my bed and go to the toilet. I cannot sit on the toilet. I cannot sit on the car. I cannot cook in my food. It's like a daily basic things, you know. And when these things stop to work, you lose the capacity to do the daily things, the daily basic things. Your body start to receive the information and send for your brain, you are sick, you are sick, you are sick. And you just keep working on the sick situation and you get depressive. So all the new research, they're talking about that, the relationship between pain and depression, because it's the sickness of the, the new society, depressive. And we have many informations about it, but how to take these informations you have on the science and put on the head of the patient? You have to find the way, good things to do it. My patient has lower back pain. There is one guy, amazing guy, amazing teacher. I have the pleasure to be with him in New Zealand. He treats chronic pain just by talk.
Really?
They don't put the hand on the patient.
Really?
And he's physiotherapist. He's not. He just sits, and it's like it's a wonderful. It's like something really new. He just talk. You understand? Your disc or your nerve, it's not a problem. The inflammation starts to reduce. This is not a problem. You can move your body, and start to talk, and the people start to feel confident. And on the same time, the brain receives the information. Okay, maybe we overthink about this.
Yes.
Let's take this signal, let's take this mention, and reduce the intensity. At the same time, they stand and start to walk normally, without lift the hips, without climb, confident. So, if I have pain for a long time, I stop my daily basic things. If I stop my daily basic things, I start to be depressive. If I be depressive, I cannot release my pain.
Yeah.
And you start to go just in circle, you just are walk in circles. You cannot solve the problem if you don't understand, okay, there's a pain, but the pain is not the limitant. Now it's his mind what limited him. So then I work on his mind. Come, hey bro, let's just walk on the sun. As you say when we sit here, let's just walk in the sun. Feel, the sunlight, feel alive. And after 15, 20 minutes, just walking and talking.
Yeah.
Oh, bro, I feel much better. Oh, thank you, thank you. And then he understands, okay, if I walk in the sun for 20 minutes, I will feel better.
Yeah.
Then he starts to walk in the sun 20 minutes. Of course, it's not like magic thing.
It's
not come to walk every day like this. But he changed his mindset. He understands better about his body because I give him information about his mechanical issue. I explain for him how the pain works on his brain, and he understands that. Then he starts to play alone.
Yeah.
So I give the mechanical manipulation to solve the mechanical problem, and I give the brain the neural stimulus for him, and he starts to play with that and change his lifestyle. After that, he can get better on about the depression symptoms.
Yeah.
And of course, the psychiatrists and psychologists, they have to help us on that. But something like part of the treatment of depressive, we have to solve the pain.
You just mentioned that we tend to fix the symptom rather than the root cause of the problem. And that's one of the most common things nowadays if you look into the overall healthcare system. Like when you go to any doctor, they're like, okay, these are your symptoms, this is the medication. And they don't give you like suggestions to fix the root cause of the problem. This is why people usually tend to feel, let's say, a momentarily relief of the pain. However, they get back to the same point where they were before because they haven't changed what's in their mind, as you just spoke now.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And this is what make with the society. The society get addicted on medicines. So that's a huge problem. That's a huge problem.
It's a really big problem nowadays. Like everyone is just like looking for the fast fix.
Yes.
They are looking for the magic pill, for the fast solution. And they don't want to do the work. Like as you mentioned, let's say doing small things like walking, changing the mentality. Like these small things build up to a bigger habit. Look to a new self.
It's the power of the habit, like they say on the book.
Yes.
This book is amazing because if we change small things on the long term, build up a good thing,
Yes.
the good things. And when a society looking for the magic pill, it's for everything. Sometimes the people come to me and they want like I just put my hand and solve, done. And when I start to say, okay, but I solved that, but you have to do the exercise, you have to do the morning routine. I want to walk on the sun like 10, 20 minutes per day. I don't want to use the headphone all the time because I want to be present, think about, feel your body. Oh, no, but it's too many things. I don't want. You don't have any medicine, doctor, to give me. No, it's not like that. It's not like that.
Very true, man. Like very true. That's something that it's growing more and more. Like people are just looking for the easiest solution without doing the work. It's weird, actually. Arthur, what can you tell me? How do you start assessing? Like, what are your assessment mechanism, let's say, to a patient who comes to you? Where do you start? Like, what are the pointers for you to start and assess the pain, assess the problem for you as Arthur?
For me, always I try to go really personal way. I try to understand this person first, the perspective of the pain for her. Let's say it's different. Like your pain and my pain can be the same mechanical problem, but you have a feeling, I have a different feeling about it. And this relationship between each patient, it's like the first way to go. So if I have the same different reactions for the same issues, this means I should have a different tools for the same issues. So I never go to manipulate or to do something like stronger if I don't have the confidence of this patient. And to get this confidence sometimes takes time. So first of all, I try to gain this confidence. You have to trust on me. And how to build that? Giving him more information about his problem. If the patient don't ask me why I'm doing something, I say for him, why don't ask why? You have to ask why I'm doing this. Why I'm stretching your muscles now? Why now I put pressure on this point? So if I get the confidence, then I will play with my techniques. So the first, I have to gain his confidence and do the assessment with him as a whole. So he have been here, but I have to look there and there and there. And how this guy feel? He come to me happy. He come walking normally, or he come looking down, more sad. He come excited to solve his problem, or he come without trust, hesitant about the treatment. If he come confident and walk normally happy, this is the patient who come for me just once. He'll come, I'll solve the mechanical problem, and it will be nice. We're going to sit and drink a coffee later. But if come sad, hesitant about the situation, and overthinking about, like, let's say, this guy cannot solve. I went for many doctors and no one solved my problem. This guy is one guy I have to take care more about. I need more time with him, talk with him, understand how the pain change his mentality on his own life. After that, I take the window or take the way to work on it. So first of all, they have a pain and I found a mechanical block. Let's talk about spine. I found a mechanical block on his spine, but I find many trigger points on his muscles. I cannot just go there and manipulate his spine. First, I work on his muscles, and during this time, the pain starts to decrease. And he starts to feel better. And sometimes the mechanical, the manipulation itself, the crack, what everybody comes to me expecting.
Like, oh, they're just going for the crack.
I want the crack, I want the crack. After I release the pain from the muscle, I already did halfway, because I've talked to the patient, he started to feel better, he started to trust on me. So then I explain, now I will manipulate this part. You feel some crack, but it's not your bones moving. It's just the air, it's the bubble of the air moving inside your body. I just try to equalize your body now. Okay, doctor, go ahead. And the sound of the crack stimulate his brain. And his brain start to release the opioids and disappear the pain. So the sound is important for the patient, not for the mechanical block. The mechanical block we can solve without the sound. But the sound is so important for the patient, because give him the feeling, send for his brain the message that that part was moved, is fixed. So sometimes you have to crack, even if you don't need it.
Even if it's like a placebo,
I use as a placebo many times. Many times. Because any joint in our body can crack. You can crack our fingers, even on the ears, some guys can crack, because it's just the bubbles of the air. Of course, there is some manipulations, we move the bone. But when we move the bone, there is no crack, because I move like a rouge structure. So there is no sound. But the sound is important to the brain, receive the information, and send back the information for the muscles or for the joints. Say, okay, this part now is fine. You can decrease the pain there, because you can turn off the alarm. And that's the key.
Man, it's wonderful, like how our brain controls everything.
It's like your logo. It's everything. The brain.
It controls everything. Like just the messages, like how our brain manipulate everything that we feel, everything that we tend to do, even if there's nothing.
Even if there's nothing. There's a good example, the virtual reality now. If I like video games, and when you try to play like with a VR, you play like, let's say, kayak game, you start to come see a sick, you start to feel a see a sick, and it's not the truth. It's just your brain receiving information, The brain's many tool for us.
Wonderful, man.
Have to work on it.
What can you tell me about the function and capacity relationship? Like, tell me more about it, please, in a bit more details.
Okay. the function can do something. I have a good function to take the bottle of water and put on the other hand and put on the table. There's a function. It's do something. The capacity is do something faster, stronger, and many, many, many times.
Okay.
So during the rehabilitation process, first I will establish the function. I cannot move my head for the right side. After the manipulation, okay, now I can move my head for the right side. But can I move 10 times? No, because my muscle is weak now. So I have the function, but it doesn't have the capacity. And to get in the capacity, again, I should work on the exercise. It's not just hand manipulation. I should work on the exercise to have a muscle support and get stronger and get faster and get stable and able to do again and again and again. As we was talking about the runner.
Yes.
Sometimes anyone can run 100 meters.
Yes.
But if you go to run 100 meters with Asian Bolt, we'll be like we are walking, you know? Because his capacity is way better than us. But he can run 100 meters 100 times a day. For us, no. We can run 100 meters 3 times a day. I cannot anymore have cramp. Oh, I have to stop. Because it doesn't have the capacity. We don't build up our capacity.
How can we know our maximum capacity?
Test. We have to test. Now I work with a Jiu-Jitsu national team here in UAE as a physiotherapist, and the first stage for everything is the test, the assessment. So if I test your body, let's say I can sit from the floor without my hands and lift without put my hands on the floor one time, once. If I did that, I have the function. So now I put a timer of 1 minute. Let's see how many times you can sit and stand without your hands.
I see.
So your capacity is 1 minute. You can do like, let's say 5 times. Is inside the average, like for his age, for his body weight? No, is lower. So I have to work on this capacity because it's a functional. It's like a daily basic. We have to sit on the floor and lift our body without put the hands on the floor. That's normal thing. Especially when we talk about Muslims, they should go down and up many times during the day. So if doesn't have this capacity, have the function, can do once, but cannot build up and repeat the same action many times, there is no capacity. And I should test to know which capacity I have to work on it.
You mentioned, like, I just remembered that you told me that one of your clients before, you were able, let's say, to readjust them to be able to breathe from both lungs. So do you think that we might, because of a functional problem, let's say, don't have the full capacity for our bodies? In a sense, like, for example, maybe now he can take more oxygen. Does that mean maybe he can produce more workout volume, for example? Can he run more now? Like, do we sometimes lack the full capacity because of a functional problem?
Yes, of course. And just about VO2, we talk about longevity as well. If you have more, if your VO2 max is high, this means you are protecting yourself about cardio problems. Okay, so it's clear for us. If you have mechanical issue, you don't use all your capacity because your brain say for your body to don't use that part.
I see.
If I have pain in my right shoulder and I try to do one snatch, I put all the weight on the left one.
True.
So I not use 100% of my body, because I just use the left side because my body tries to protect the right one. And that's really normal in athletes, in any kind of athletes. If I take any athletes, never they are symmetric.
Yes.
Always one side stronger than the other, or always one side faster than the other.
Yes.
Because they grow up trying to compensate. I have pain here, but I have training in 2 hours. I don't have time to take care about this pain. I just go. And you start to build up some consequence for the issues. So the mechanical block limits his capacity. And to take the 100% of his capacity, and when you talk about professional athletes, you don't take 100%, you take 110, because you have to give 100% every training session. We have to remove the mechanical block, solve the problem, teach his body on the same time, because the brain are receiving the information. So when I manipulate his neck, the brain starts to receive the information. It's the time to teach his shoulder, because it's near, you know, it's easy to take the weight to the brain. So I use the neural system to learn on that time how to use the right shoulder again, and he started to lift with both shoulders. Oh, it started to come easy. Now it's easy to do this. Yes, because now you have the function. I established the function, and during his training session, he built up the capacity. So that's why this are
wonderful,
connected.
man. Like, you know, like people think that they might have reached their capacity. However, as you just mentioned, like maybe things which they have been compensating for all this time, which they have been neglecting, and they have been building up. But if like a good assessment with a good, let's say, physiotherapist can determine, and they can push them even further, especially if they're an athlete or if they're someone who care about the results in the sport. Wonderful.
Nice.
What can you tell me also about the lifestyle, and how does it affect our body and mind on a daily life?
Our life, our body and mind are adapted about our lifestyle.
Okay.
So if I stay sitting for a long time, I build some adaptations in my body to that position. If I start to drive a heavy car, I start to build adaptations in my body for the heavy car. If I start to ride a bike, I build up adaptations for the bike. And that's how it works for our body. So imagine if I have a lifestyle stressful, all the time I receive informations from phone, from computer, from the noise outside. This make my body stay tense. My muscles start to come tight. I come tight. And this start to produce more pain on my body. And it's hard to release this without control the stimulus. So if I control the stimulus on my daily life, I can manage better my body. And if I can manage better my body, I can reach 100% of my capacity.
Yes.
So you see many people around the world, they cannot sit on the chair and just read a book for 10 minutes because cannot pay attention to that. It's not their fault. They receive many stimulus during the day. They use all the fuel for the brain. They cannot keep focus more than 10 seconds, especially because now the social media is always, you watch scroll, 10 seconds, 4 seconds, new one. New one. So this release some dopamine in our brain. If we use all the dopamine, we have like hangover about it. So if I'm hangover about dopamine, I cannot focus. I cannot control myself. Sometimes I feel more pain. And sometimes it's hard to do the physical activities. You see many guys really love to do some physical activities, but they choose the wrong time to do it. As I told you before, the morning time is a good time to learn something. But sometimes the people, I don't want to wake up early. I want to wake up close to the time to go to my work. Then go to the work and lose all the dopamine levels. And when finish the work, they are tight. They are tired. The muscles are tight because it was a stressful day. And then they try to go to do some exercise. It would be hard. It would be hard for the body. Of course, the body will adapt with a new routine, but this takes time. Around 2 months to your body adapt to the new routine and start to control the level of the hormones to manage the time of the training. But after that, you have to keep training at the same time because it's part of your lifestyle. If I change my lifestyle and start to train early morning, you see, during the day, you're going to work way better because the physical activities release dopamine and you just increase your level of dopamine. You'll be happiness and you'll be focused and it'll be easy to manage different situations. You know?
Man, that's a wonderful example because I myself used to, a point in my life, I used to always train after my work. Now, I used to also face problems of sleeping back at night because like I'm always hyper at night, like because I can't sleep fully at night. And I had to, like, let's say, push my sleeping hours to, let's say, 2, 3 a.m. just because of that. Because I go back, let's say, finish work at like, let's say, around 8. I go to the gym around, let's say, 9. I finish training. And like, when I get to bed, I'm still hyper. Like, I'm still hard.
The adrenaline is still in your body.
Yes, still. So like the moment I shifted to a morning training routine, my life have shifted completely. Like I would, first thing in the morning, I would go train. Like through the day, you're just completely focused. And you have this sense of achievement, you know, the sense of achievement as if you achieve something for the day, then everything throughout the day is going to become easier for you. Like it's going to give you the satisfaction that, hey, I achieved something from the beginning, then everything that comes after is easy. When you get to the night, you're just ready to recover, sleep at night, because sleeping at night also is crucial compared to staying up at night.
You say the best way to change the lifestyle, you know, you just change one thing. One action. You just move your training from after work to early morning.
Yes.
And of course, this sense of achievement is a good feeling, you know, and this produces hormones as well, because the hormones in our body are produced by feelings. And that's how it works.
Yeah.
So if I train early morning and I take this adrenaline and this hyper as you feel during the night, but you change this for the daily, how are you gonna work during the day? Full energy. You are full energy, you know. You can do whatever you want. You can work even more or even faster. Your reaction come faster.
More efficient.
More efficient.
Yes.
And that's why the big companies, they try to build up gyms or some places inside in the workplace. Then they go there. They went there, do their own training, shower and go work, and use these dopamine levels and all these happiness hormones to use to have a better relationship between the workers and the best efficiency on the work. So that's the many thing. You see, change one action and change all your life.
Man, wonderful. Like how small things can build up to big good things, or can build up to bad negative things. Just small actions over the long time, they can change our lives, either positively or negatively. Arthur, is there anything that you want to share with the audience before we finalize the episode? Let me know if there's anything that you want to, let's say, send a message for everyone out there. Anything from your experience that you want to share?
I want to share two things. Okay. First thing, please, where I look here. If you feel pain, don't take a medicine. Look for a good physiotherapist, to good even mesotherapist, and try to solve your pain by the hand therapy. Because today we have a addicted society, and this scares me a lot. Because even the problems with drugs start from that, and the society is like where I want to put my son, you know. And if the society are sick, this scares me a little bit. So if you have a pain, try to solve by hand therapy. If that is impossible, then try the medicine things. And even if you have like an indication for the doctor for surgery, try to take a second opinion. You know, don't accept the first thing. Even if the physiotherapist say, is like this. No, try to find a second opinion, you know. Sometimes we are so receptive about do surgeries.
Biases, maybe.
Yes. And, you know, sometimes we just want a magic pill and say, no, if you do this surgery, solve the problem. If you take this medicine, solve the problem. But look around. There's many solutions for many problems. And the second thing I want to say, do some physical activities. Our body should move. We have a machine. Our body is a machine. If we don't use the machine will break it. But if you keep using on the right way, you have this machine for a long time. The key of the longevity is to keep activity, keep the physical activity. Control the intensity, but keep doing something. If you cannot move your legs, move your arms. If you cannot move your arms, move your head. If you cannot move your head, move your eyes. But keep moving your body. That's the key.